What's up, guys, and welcome back to Toto on Video Podcast, your daily 16 to 17 minutes of knowledge. My name is Eric Namai, and today I'll be your host. Once again, and you should never forget this is the podcast done by kids, for kids, to kids, and everyone in general, meaning you are part of the conversation. Joining me for the conversation today is one of the best radio presenters I've met. Not just a radio presenter, but just a presenter on herself. Guys, allow me to introduce Kerry Kagiri.
Thank you.
Hi, Kerry.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast.
Asante sana.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so probably you could just do a small introduction of yourself.
Sure. Before I do anything, though, you're really good at what you're doing. And so it's really nice to meet you as well.
Thank you.
Awesome. So I am Kerry Kagiri. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. I'm a performing artist, but mostly I describe myself as a creative because I find myself in spaces where I'm doing creative stuff, including consulting for projects and all that shebang. So I am a musician, I am a dancer, I am a singer, I am a TV host, I'm a radio host, I'm a speaker, I'm a preacher, I'm everything that God calls me to be in every different season. So I think that's the definition I'd give. And I do have a website at www.kerrykagiri.com.
All of that shebang. What's that?
Everything.
Shebang?
Everything.
Okay, so all that shebang revolves around media.
It revolves around media.
Okay.
It revolves around, communicating and creating, shaping culture. I think that's the word I'd use.
And you are one of the media personalities like we adore in Kenya.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so today's conversation is going to be on how children are influenced by media. And for the topic, we have to have Kerry Kagiri. So Kerry Kagiri, a lot of people speak about media and you find that they don't even know or rather have a definition of media. Okay, so I'd like to know from you, what is your definition of media like personally for you?
Okay, so first of all, just generally the word media comes from plural of medium. So it's something through which you use to pass something. And so media is just a plural for medium. So it could be a container with something. Yeah,
Okay.
It's a medium. It could be a word spoken. It could be something watched. It could be something read. It could be, just some form of, from electronic to print to everything. So from me, every way I've gotten to receive a form of communication is media. Yeah.
Okay. And well, in this day and age, we live basically on media because, well, we can't live like Moses and stuff like with
But we can though, but we chosen not to. But anyway.
Okay. So as much as we all speak about media and it's all around us, we gotta acknowledge the fact that children are also in media. Okay, so I'd like to get your take from the engagement of media and children.
Okay, I'd say as a child I was really, really affected, or my choices were guided by what I watched. And so first of all, there's a negative side of it, and the negative side of it was I didn't think I was beautiful because I didn't look like any of the girls I saw on TV or saw in a magazine or anything. So I was like, Kai, kweli mimi nakaaje? I didn't look like them.
Yeah.
But then in my own sense, I'm still fearfully and wonderfully made. So I had to use another media to learn that, which is through the word of God, which is written print.
Yeah.
But anyway, so thinking about myself as a young person and how much influence it had on me, the songs I listened to, what they made me do, the dances I learned, the performances I learned, even who I decided to be was highly shaped by that. And so I now come to this other side and think, one day I'm going to have children, and how are they going to be affected? What kind of content will I allow them to have access to? What do I want them to know that maybe I can't say verbatim to them, but they can be able to watch? So I think media has a huge impact on children. Me, I was once a child and I was highly impacted. And so right now I'm looking around at kids who have access to phones, have access to laptops and iPads and all that kind of stuff. And they get to just scroll and scroll and scroll, and they see all kinds of things. I remember one incident, my relatives, small kids, I think they were about 5 and 4, and they were using a phone for another relative. And so I asked them, what are you guys watching? and they're trying to read, so they're like, girlfriend something. So I'm like, a girlfriend what? So I took the phone, and they're watching about dating in high school, and I'm like, children. So I was almost like on the floor. I'm like, it needs to be controlled. It needs to be highly observed screen time. So you can't just give them, yes, they're watching Cocomelon or whatever, or Toto TV. Toto TV, yeah.
Toto News.
Toto News. And then kidogo, the next thing that will pop up will be how to get a girlfriend in high school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you watching? So that was very stressful on my part. So yeah, media is highly influential, and we have to be very careful about what we expose children to.
Yeah, thank you for that. I am glad that you mentioned going and scrolling down pictures, and like double tapping on them and clicking them, which is also social media, right? But then before we get to social media, because social media is something we're going to be discussing, I would like to know, because you mentioned as you were growing up, right? So as you were growing up, and can you compare that to the day like today? Okay, do you feel like you were left out on anything as a child compared to the child of today?
No. I feel like, yes, of course, there's more access now. Kids are getting phones at a younger age. But no, it was still available. Like if there was a movie, we could watch it in the movies. We used to even have drive-in. I know you've never experienced that.
Drive-in, like
movie.
Oh, as in
like you
your
drive
park
and you watch from your car.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was fun. I feel like things have shifted with the digital shift. There's more access to more channels. Back then, there was only, I think, STV and things
Family
like,
TV.
Family TV.
Yeah.
Like they were very the choice was not as much, but the content was quite
a lot
as still. And then came Facebook, then came
Twitter,
then came everything else. But yeah, even TikTok was there with a different name, by the way. It had another Musical.ly. Yes, I remember using it as Musical.ly.
So TikTok did exist?
Yes, as Musical.ly, then TikTok changed.
I am hearing this for the first time.
Yeah, you said this is where people get informed? Yeah,
okay.
So that's what we're doing.
Well, I am informed right now. TikTok actually existed.
Yeah, so as Musical.ly, so you could still just, lip sync to something, then, post it. But I'd say there was nothing we were left out of. Like you had opportunities. I remember even in high school, like there was a entertainment, Enter. And, you could go and, watch a movie that was agreed on. Of course it would be rated, but yeah. Okay.
And speaking of all of this, you yourself being a media personality and children being involved in media, do you think it's necessary to have a conversation where we talk about, well, it is necessary because we're having a conversation about it, but why should we address it? Because it is important we do address it. What do you think it's important to address, and what should we address?
I've seen people saying, we're not going to raise your children, and then they do bad manners. I'll just call it bad manners on screen.
Okay.
I've seen those people who are like, it's not my business to raise your child. Me, I'm doing my content. So I feel like we have a responsibility, in as much as we're trying to delegate it away as an influence, as a person of influence, then we do have a huge responsibility to curate content that is healthy, that is, uplifting, inspiring. Yeah. So, I don't know if I'm answering your question, but what I'm really saying is it's very important to know that we're shaping culture, we're shaping opinions. And so if you're being ratchet or you're being some sort of way, and you're like, wasiwatch basi chali yangu ni block, you know what I'm saying? Maisha ni yangu, shughulika na yako. It's like, no, you can't live that way. I feel like people need to take more responsibility over their social platforms, over the influence that they've been given by God.
Okay. Yeah. And talking about creating content, posting and stuff, let's talk about social media. I'd like to know your take from the way that children are accessing mostly Instagram, Facebook.
I'll say it's a no for me.
For you? For
me, my kids, no.
Why is that?
Because I feel like they're missing some stages of growth. Well, it's clutter. It's like, yes, you have a mind, but what are you using it for, in what season? Yeah. I feel like seasons are different. There's a season for learning certain information. There's a season for growing in a certain way. Yeah.
So in future, You have your own children,
Yeah.
right? What age would you recommend, like, just giving them a phone?
A phone.
Mm-hmm.
Sad. Hey, I'm thinking like 14.
14.
Yeah.
Actually,
I know
14.
I'm pushing it.
No,
Because I have
14.
a 9-year-old in my family who's like, I need a phone. I need to be calling you. And I'm like, no, you don't. Call me with your mother's phone.
Okay.
You know?
Actually, I think 13 is the recommended age.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not that
So me,
sure.
I'm traditional. So yeah, 14. At 20. Actually, jinunulie simu. Tafuta kazi ujinunulie.
Okay.
Mbona nunulia mtu simu?
She's your child.
Kazi.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
by the way, jipange.
So we'll
My blood pressure money ni ya kukununulia simu. Uko sawa?
Okay. I really can't contain it right now. Okay, so as we speak about that, okay, what's your take on their mental health? How is it affecting their mental health?
As I said, it's all clutter. Different seasons of life. Now they should be learning about their health. They should be learning about, and I'm not saying that we don't get information in terms of sex education and all this. I'm just talking about, it's a time to study. You know what I'm talking about? Uko na masomo, uko na 6 subjects. Uko na CBC, go hug a tree. Like, it's just, I feel like it's clutter.
Okay.
So that, seeing other people, even ndio wanaishi, ama nani anafanya hivi. As I said, I got affected by, just my self-esteem. It was very low because I was like, people who are beautiful, they don't look like me. So me nasimama tu kwa kona. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like we have to really safeguard them emotionally. Another thing that the mental health is affected is pressure. Social media has a lot of pressure, and not that you're not celebrating people, but people have different seasons. And so when you keep seeing huyu amefanya hivi, huyu hajafanya hivi, huyu ako hivi, huyu ako hivi, it gets to you. It's like, kweli mimi
What am I doing?
was I created? Ama I dropped off Mars, nilianguka by mistake. So the more access we have I think it's the wrong thing. It's a good thing, but at the wrong time. There's a time and a season for everything. Yeah.
Okay.
A time to be on social media
And
a time to
read.
be on your books.
Or hug a
Or
tree.
on your laptop reading. Yes.
Okay, so your word to parents on how they should raise their children.
Yeah.
Because from what you're saying, I think your kid will be like
Straight and narrow.
Straight.
Una bad. Hey, dear child. This is your letter from your mommy.
Okay.
You're in trouble. Unless your father saves you. Anyway, I remember growing up in an estate where there were families walikuwa wanafungia TV in the kabati. You've not grown up with cupboards. So before we used to have what do you used to be called? It was like a wall unit. It was like if you have a wall unit, you're rich. And so they used to lock the TV, then they come. Wazazi wakifika home, that's when they open the TV. And now they watch, and now it's controlled content. Then of course ikifika saa ya jioni, when there are kissing scenes in The Young and the Restless, kila mtu anafukuzwa naenda kulala. Just when the kissing scene, if there's no kissing scene, you'll watch the whole show. But if you just see someone
you cancel completely.
And then mulale. So parents, you have a huge responsibility. And for me also, there's that guilty conscience. I think even like things like pornography, I didn't know that pornography is just accessible. Like you just Google unaona, like it's so accessible. So for me, I was guarded enough that nearly watched too because of my foolishness as an adult, which is still bad. God forgive me, please. But there's that guidance that parents have to offer their children. Tell them, what? There's this info. I don't know if you can insert any video in this, but there's a video of Masi Masika talking to her 2 kids, telling them, if you're on the phone and something bad comes, what will you guys do as a reaction? And one of the kids was like, no, I'll close it quickly, or what. And I think those are conversations that children need to have with their parents consistently. And parents, you need to be open and say, this is right, this is wrong. And yes, people are doing it out there, but it's not our culture and our foundation. So let's not relegate that to social media. Social media is a whole jungle on its own. Digital media is a jungle on its own. So parents, you yourself just say, this is who we are. Yes, no, that, like that. Yeah.
But what about the main audience you're addressing? The children.
Guard your hearts. Guard your hearts. Out of it flows issues of life. But also, your eyes, your ears, your mouth, those are gates into your soul. And if your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who lives in you and you are not your own, you will protect it. So when you watch things that are not good for you, then you are defiling. And I don't know what word I can use for totals for defiling, but you unachafua yani. You're dirtifying that beautiful body that God has given you by putting in information that's filthy. So take care of yourself. Take charge of your gates. Your eyes are gates. Your ears are gates. Your mouth is a gate. You have a responsibility as well. And as long as you can understand what I'm saying, you have reached the age of taking responsibility over your own actions.
Thank you. And since it's 15 to 16 minutes of knowledge, what's your parting shot since we have to finish?
Yeah. I just want to say, I'm really excited that God is creating platforms like this for positive media. And I know that, things that trend are naughty and all that. But I want you to make a change. I want you to share this content with somebody. That would be my call to action. Tell someone about what we've talked about. Share it with your parents. Share it with your friends. Share it with your kids. If you don't have kids, share it with your nephews, your nieces. There are kids in your neighborhood. Let them watch this and engage with this content. That will be my parting shot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. That was Kerry Kagiri. I told you she was like really, really amazing. And you've witnessed it all yourself. Be sure to share the video. I have never told you this ever since the first episode. Share the video. And if you are watching this video for the first time, go back and start from the first video we made and then just scroll up to keep up with what we've been doing. Thank you so much for watching this video. Share and also like. You can comment and make sure to catch us on the next episode. Thank you.